Hello, this is Royal Height, the music ambassador of the Royal Height of Music podcast. Our goal is taking our music to the world. Get the word out now. Let everybody know who you are, where you are, and what you do. Sponsors, advertisers, and affiliates, you're welcome to join us. Join us here at the Royal Height of Music podcast. Contact us at veneralrecords@gmail.com or call us at 1-888-666-3645. That's 1-888-666-3645. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Royal Height, the music ambassador, and I am proud to say we're returning again to the Royal Height of Music podcast, where our theme is taking our music to the world. And right now, in my presence, I have a very, very outstanding young gentleman, a man that's been around for a long time, who's been doing a lot of wonderful things, and comes out of one of the main things he's done is his accomplishments in the sports world. As a sports announcer, he has the accolades of having done national as well as international announcement of professional boxing matches and a whole lot more. He's been around some of the greats, the ones that we have loved and admired over the years, and he's gained not only a lot of insight, but he also has been a groundbreaker because the field in which he is one in which very few blacks have been able to actually get into that field at the level that he is on. So he has followed a few, but he has also set the pace and actually did a lot of groundbreaking work in this area. And ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet a man who, powerful young man. I've had the pleasure of knowing him for a couple of years now. We've done some things together, but this morning I'm honored to introduce my friend, and his first name now is a mouthful. That's only because he is a great guy. None other than we call him Discombobulating Jones. Mr. Jones, please introduce yourself in all your glory. Tell my folks about you. We see a bunch of pictures already in the background, but tell us a little bit about yourself, your history, what you've done in the past, and so we can get a chance just to know who you are.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. We're ready to do it, so let's step to it. And that's my trademark call, of course. And I've been a ring announcer in DC proper for 33 years straight. And as you said, certainly I'm on a different level. Thank God I kept the faith. And as the scriptures say, he'll make you master over many when you're faithful over a few things. So a lot of people try to deter me from the dream, but I never gave up. And certainly over the 33 years, I've been on the old USA Tuesday Night Fights, ESPN, HBO, and a couple of years ago, I made a debut on Showtime. So the momentum continues. I haven't, as I told your producer, the renowned Scott Brown, thank you, Scott, I haven't been on TV 33 times in 33 years. And the reason being what you see, pigmentation. But that's changing now, because it's changing around the world about this thing. You know, racism is front and center, and they realize it's a mental health problem.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's a pandemic of its own. So we need to try to eradicate racism wherever we find it. So being in this position as the only black ring announcer anybody knows, I'm in a position to make great change. So thank you for having me on to and give you this narrative on this platform.
Well, Mr. Jones, we are certainly proud of you. Let me ask, now, your first name, am I correct? Henry Jones. This is Mr. Henry Jones. Now, you are a native
of upstate Rochester, New York. I got a scholarship to go to grad school, University of Maryland, back in 1979. Got a job 3 years later in DC government, and as a master's degree social worker, and just retired from there 2 years ago. So certainly been a full career, and prayerfully I made positive impact with the youth that I've been working with. For the last 2 years of my DC government career, I was appointed by the mayor to be the supervisor for the city for missing runaway youth, which was a pressure cooker situation, man. You know, and certainly our youth out here, but they don't have the, I would say, the structure at home, a positive role model, male role model in particular, a father or father figure. They don't know how other males are supposed to treat them. So they get caught up in the streets. You know, they get caught up in sexual trafficking and drugs, violence. So hopefully I made some impact to get our youth back on track for positive things.
Well, I'll tell you, that's amazing. I have to agree with you. It's hard to aspire to hit the bullseye when there's no target in front of you. And that is and has been a dilemma of so many of Blacks around the world. We have been devoid of Black leadership, people that we can emulate, people that we can model after.
True.
And there are not enough people like yourself and others who put themselves within arm's reach, touching distance of youth, where they feel not only comfortable, but they are being modeled in such a way that it encourages them to acquire, you know, some of the goals and attributes that you have.
That's true.
Now, since you have been doing this, I know, like I said in our introduction, that you have done a lot of groundbreaking work. Could you give us an idea of just some of the struggles that you personally have been through? Because, again, a lot of people don't realize that just because you wear a banner of success, you've crossed the finish line so many times ahead of others, they don't realize the personal struggles that we as Black men trying to achieve good things go through. So just briefly, a couple things that you remember that, you know, could have been critical blows to you, but you used them as a stepping stone to step ahead and move ahead.
Great segue. Thank you for asking that question. You said a couple minutes ago, putting ourselves in arm's reach, but actually when you're being vulnerable, trying to make impact, you put yourself in harm's reach. Others to react to what you're doing, especially if it's positive and they don't want to see that. So breaking into the businesses I did back in 1988, 33 years ago. And shout out to Madness Connection. I know you know Madness Connection.
Yes, I do. I used to deal with them.
They gave me my big break. I was their only ring announcer for the entire duration that they were in the business. So thank you to Ty Johnson and Cleveland Burgess, Eddie Van, and they believed in me. And you know, certainly we escalated together to bring big time boxing back to the district. At one time, we had more world champions and world-class contenders than any city in the country in the history. Right. We had Turner Bay Mitchell, Mark Too Sharp Johnson, William Jaffe Jr., Keith Holmes, DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley, Andrew Maynard, Riddick Bowe, Sugar Ray Leonard, Andrew Council, Daryl Coley, Daryl Tyson, Reggie Green, the late great Jamal Hinton Sr., who we just I'm breaking up saying it because I did the 10 count for him 2 days ago. We eulogized him yet man, I can't even get it out. That he was take your time. Brother to me. We had TV coming every other month because we had such great fighters in this area, man. And so I had tried to get promoters together to form a consortium. I said, we don't need to be pitted against each other. We need to pool our resources, you know, our resources, which is our fighters, and so that we can all eat. But ego being what it was, promoters wanted, you know, to be the one, and that never happened. And boxing is not a game. Once you lose and lose significantly, and that's it. There's no pension plan, insurance benefits. We were trying to get all of that for them, because out of all the sports, this one needs it worse than any of them, because one blow and that's it. You through. So a lot of people didn't like what I was trying to do in this position. And you see this microphone I'm holding?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I like that, huh?
My sister sent this to me. She said, and this was for my birthday last year. She said, brother, you have a golden voice. A lot of them want to silence your voice because you're trying to do the right thing. And you're in a powerful position with this going around the world when they see you on TV. They said, so they're afraid of you. You're an educated black man. Let's put it out there.
That's a dangerous species.
Yes. So
that's a very dangerous species.
Being transparent like this, but I wouldn't have it any other way, man. If I had to do it all over again, this is the way I would do it, because I didn't bow down to anybody. I'm my own man, and here 33 years later, when a lot of persons are out of the business, I'm going even stronger. So my ladder is going to be greater than my former.
Amen.
Can't get. So at first I was bitter, but now I'm better.
Amen. Well, I'll tell you, it's an honor, like I said earlier, to have someone like you. I've had the likes of another sports commentator, sports analyst, Harold Bell, who's a mutual acquaintance of both of ours. And in fact, that's how I had a chance to meet with you through an organization that, and another organization with Mr. Franklin Malone with the 100 Fathers, which I'm a part of.
That's right.
And just in meeting you and seeing and hearing what you've done so far, I was more than impressed. I mean, to me, you represented a man not only who had great talents and was educated, but you were willing to put it on the line to be there to make a difference. And it's a difference, because a lot of people have the ability to do things, but it's a difference between having the ability and then putting the action to it.
That's
and
right.
That's what makes a difference. I've watched you and just see a lot of things currently. What are some of the things that you're involved in currently? Can I ask you, Mr. Jones?
Well, we haven't had any pro boxing locally because of the pandemic for the past year, but that's about to change now. So with the coming summer and fall, we'll be back to business. I'll definitely keep you posted and invite you out. Have you perform in the ring? How you like that?
Hey.
Come up with a boxing related theme.
I got no problem.
Okay.
That's easy.
I got you. So I've been out of town announcing because other states have allowed it with protocol. So I've been to South Carolina. I've been to Atlanta. Be going back to Atlanta actually June 5th and August 14th. Those are the next two dates and places that I know I will be announcing. Now we have a local guy, and matter of fact, this is a new generation of fighters here in the area. And I say area, I say DMV, because Baltimore is leading the way, to be perfectly honest. You know, they got some up and coming guys that the world should take notice of. And one of them they already have, and that's Tank Davis, Gervonta Tank Davis. You know, he's under Mayweather. He'll be fighting again June 26th. He's a talent. So the biggest fight that can be made really is he and our local guy from Capitol Heights, Maryland, Mr. Gary Russell Jr. So we're trying to get that fight card made, that bout made at the Capital One Arena sometime in 2022. It'll be huge. But before that, we have another local guy. He had a resounding victory on Showtime about 3 weeks ago named Jordan Short Dog White. So he fought up in Connecticut, and afterwards his father called me from ringside and had the promoter standing next to him, and the promoter said, we're going to come to DC with a fight, and certainly you're going to be the ring announcer for it. So probably June, July, August at the latest, we'll have Showtime coming back to the district, and we're going to showcase some of our up and coming fighters. So I'm just blessed, man, that this is a new generation, and I'm still here for it. Some of the fighters are the sons of the fathers that I've announced.
All right.
This is full circle.
Oh, wow.
So I don't feel old. I feel blessed, to still.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you now, as I'm listening to you, I can't help but think that with all of your experience, all of your talent, have you ever considered possibly putting on seminars or teaching experiences where you could share with possible other aspiring announcers skills that they need to develop about not only the business, but also being able to be as articulate and smooth as you are? All of these things count and they matter.
Yes. Yes.
So I was wondering, had you ever thought, because I would love to be a part of doing something like that where we could feature maybe you, and I don't know, you'd have to help me put it together, something that would allow people to see that this is a area that they might consider moving into at some point in time. Everybody doesn't box. Right. Everybody's not a singer. Everybody's not a basketball player. We need people with skills like yours to do announcing, and your skill set allows you to do not only boxing, but there are fashion shows, there are beauty shows, there are events held by organizations that need announcers to stand there and host and kind of guide the ship to safe ground after it comes off the water. So have you ever thought about that, doing something like that?
Not only thought about it, I have a proposal for it, and I'm wondering, how did you get my proposal? Everything you said is what we're going to do. That's amazing. So you just gave confirmation to exactly what we're about to embark upon. I have a proposal for a reality show called Finding My Successor. And basically what it is, when I go around the country to different cities to announce, I'm going to have open auditions for ring announcers, right? I'm not going to discriminate against anyone like they've been doing against me. So right. You can imagine the hilarity that's going to ensue with different people coming out, different ethnicities, preferences. That's right. It's going to get ratings. And so I'm going to have a fee attached to it, because you're not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste your time. If you're serious about it, you're going to put some skin in the game. Those people that we don't select, maybe we can help you with other aspects of life. Maybe you need help with, I don't know, substance abuse. Maybe you need help with getting a job. Maybe you can be part of the fashion industry, the music industry, because we're going to have people on board in those areas as well, yourself included. Now that you mentioned it, yes, you definitely going to be a part of this. And so we definitely want to reach out to young persons because we want to prepare them for life. We can help you get a job, but unless you understand what your triggers are, you might not get a job.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. We prepare people to be successful and victorious in life. So all that's going to be part of this, man. So that's why I didn't interrupt you. I wanted to hear more of your vision to confirm mine, and you did. Thank you so much.
Well, I won't take none of the glory.
Wow.
Like yourself, I hang all of my success on the fact that I am and serve a righteous God. I am a God-fearing man, and some people might find that hard, not palatable, but I can only tell you the truth. That's all.
I don't want them around my life space anyway.
So anyway, that's who I am, and I won't deviate from it. That's who I am.
You can't deviate from it.
I will do all I can. I'm not prejudiced in the sense of I want to help everybody, but I also realize at a certain point there's some lines I can't cross. I do have certain values that I do esteem, and they go beyond even the laws that exist on the books.
Right.
When it comes to the conflict of am I going to follow God's laws or man's law? man's law are going to always lose with me.
Every time.
That's where I am. But, as we go on now, also, like I said, now, here we are ending now the COVID season, which I know everybody's certainly happy that it looks as though there is some light at the end of the tunnel.
That's right.
What do you see in the immediate future as far as what you would like to do? Now, you didn't mention yet, but I did hear, I got wind of the fact that you had written a book, that you're also, along with being an accomplished speaker, but you're also an author. What is the title of your book? And could you just tell us a little bit about it, if you will?
Yes. Thank you for asking that. It's called It's More Than a Notion. And the premise behind it is that things happen for a reason. Okay? It's not all coincidental. If you really look introspectively with a spiritual perspective, you'll realize things were supposed to happen as they were supposed to. You have some say in it, but ultimately the Creator has the last word, in your life. Okay, you can help or you can hurt. Okay, but you got to look at your actions and see how it's dictated towards your future. So anyway, the book is about my family from my perspective. I'm the youngest in the family, so I saw their lives unfolding in front of me, and it's a story that everybody gonna be able to relate to. A dysfunctional family overcoming odds, overcoming adversity, overcoming adversaries. You understand? For triumph. So it talks about relationships and street life and academic achievement and loss and grief, the whole genre that everybody goes through in some way, shape, or form. So it's been read in several school curriculums, and the kids love it because it's got that drama that they're going through now that we've been through and been able to overcome. So I wrote it in a wry humor kind of way, because saying things that make you laugh or make you cry. So, I get their attention first, because you got to get the attention of the youth. Otherwise, you can't disseminate your spiel. So I get them laughing. I tell them about my involvement in the streets. I got here in D.C. It's going to get you. And that was my wild weed smoking days, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought I was smoking a joint with this guy. We went to Holgate. You remember Holgate's down
down on the waterfront,
on a Friday. So, I'm Natalie attired. It's a payday Friday. I'm feeling good. Get down there after smoking what I thought was this joint with this guy. I started taking on my clothes at the door in the line, in a long line. Right. So my friend, loosely used term, my friend, he talking to this girl with his back to me. People start laughing. He turned around. He see that I'm taking off my clothes. Right. He's, oh, wow, that's my man. Went up to me, he said, man, put your clothes back on. I'm going to go inside and get you some milk. And I'm thinking, man, bring me a pack of Jack Daniels and Hennessy or something. Milk drugged down that he had given me. And so you got to be quick to hear. I didn't hear him say boat. I thought he said bow, as in Colombo, that we used to smoke.
Oh, my goodness.
Boat. Lovely. The Dipper. Wet. Sherman stick. It's formaldehyde sprayed on a joint. And
buck naked, as they used to call it.
You must have read something in the book. That's exactly what I said. They say they call it buck naked, and that's what I was about to get, buck naked. So I put the clothes back on. He came out with the milk. I drank the milk to humor him. He says, you like that feeling, huh? I said, no, I don't like that feeling. And I looked at him, bro, and psychologically, you're going to be able to appreciate this. Horn started growing out of his head. My demons was coming out of him. See, psychologically. So I started running down the street away from him. He said, where you going? I said, I just remember I got something to do. He said, but I rode with you. I said, well, find another way home. I'm just trying to get home. I'm paranoid now, right? I used to live up in Petworth area. From southwest to northwest. That's a good little ride.
That's a good run, huh?
I'm speeding through traffic, going around people because in my mind, they go in slow motion, right? Snap into that. I get up to the intersection of Georgia and New Hampshire. You know where that is?
Yes,
back in 1980, I guess it was 83 now, 84. It was a stop sign. It wasn't a stop light there. It was a stop sign. You know, it take turns going through. Bro, I was sitting at the stop sign, waiting for the stop sign to turn green. Kids not laughing.
Oh man.
Yeah, I got the kids' attention now. You know, for $1 million, you couldn't tell me that stop sign was a stop light. So, you know, people blowing the horn, going around me, you know, give me the finger. And I'm like, I got 2 tickets already. I can't afford this third one. But that's when they put the boot on. If you remember, that boot just come out. So I said, no, I got to wait for this light to turn, right? I'm out of my mind. And that's a long time to be out of your mind for about 2 minutes, which is all the but that's a long time because you know, right? So I heard the siren ring, and I looked in the rearview mirror. I see this motorcycle cop coming down, you know, the road, you know, and coming towards me. I said, oh no, he's not coming towards me. Sure enough, he pulled over. He said, what you doing? You got traffic backed up all the way to Howard University. And he looked in my eyes. He said, oh, you on that stuff, huh? Pull over. Man, God read me. God said the angel of mercy, as he does throughout the book. And he got a call from his walkie-talkie. He had to go for another emergency. And he pointing at me as he's driving away, like, I'm gonna see you again. And in my mind is, no, you won't, because I never did that. I got home and barricaded the doors and locked and put furniture behind it and pulled the drapes down. Man, I was scared this guy with the horns was coming for us. I never did that again. So anyway, they can relate to it in the book when I go into schools and read it, and then I can give them the positive message of life. Yeah.
That's a fantastic. So you got me laughing and crying over here.
There's a lot of stories in the book.
I've seen so many people who've experienced much of the same kind of things you talked about. I've seen it firsthand, and it's real.
Oh my God, relationship were real. Okay, let's just leave that for another time.
But look, you know, while we're here, I mean, I appreciate all that you do, and like I said, one of the things that we talked about, this is the Royal Height of Music podcast, and our theme here is taking our music to the world.
Yes.
And music is a general term to include the things that sound good, but it really speaks of things that are good, and how important music is in life. The music of life, which is good relationships, the good people who that you can be involved with, and the things that keep you strong and healthy. You know, your religion, your the things that you believe in, the things that you will and won't do. All of these things, all of those to me constitute elements of music, because they have a rhyme and a rhythm that not only makes sense, but it edifies you. And if you're a religious person like we are, it also edifies God, because he wants us to be happy and enjoy the positive things of life.
Absolutely.
Okay. And with that in mind, I just wanted to ask you, what are your feelings about music? How do you feel about the importance of music? You've had the pleasure of hearing me do a couple of the things that I do as far as music, and you got a feel for what I do, but I want you to tell me, if you will, in your own words, how do you feel about the importance of music in our world?
Oh man, it's an absolute necessity now. You know, like yourself, we baby boomers. You know, we grew up with the music, with the positive music, empowering music, love music. You know, matter of fact, to this day, you know, I still have old cuts that I listen to on the regular. My number one is "Keep Your Head to the Sky."
Earth, Wind and Fire.
That's right. You know, opening line said, "The master told me one day I'd find in everything." I live by that, man. You know, it's not a game for me. You know, matter of fact, I just learned last month, because future reference, I'm going to Tulsa, Oklahoma to announce a fight, and the Gap Band is from Tulsa.
That's right.
And GAP stands for Greenwood, Archer, and Pine. Those are the streets
that they intersected.
Right, that they bombed 100 years ago. This is the 100-year anniversary of that massacre of Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. So the number one song that the Gap Band had was They Dropped the
Bomb on Me. That's right.
Man, I just found that out. I'm thinking it's talking about love or sex or relationship. Talking about life and history, man. I was like, isn't that something? That's deep. So it's a whole lot of things in music that we don't know about, and we listen, to the music, or we bopping our heads to the beat. If you listen to the words behind it, it means so much more. So even in my book, I reference music, throughout the book. Another song, Tina Marie, may she rest in peace. Irons in the Fire. It says how I can walk with kings, or to the point I can talk to anybody, be myself, be successful, not too high, not too low. Just, keep your irons in the fire, So in your music, man, the Black Lives Matter, is that the national theme song now? Because if not, it should be.
That's one we're pushing. We elevated this. We bill it as the world theme song, because it's a song that should be acknowledged worldwide, because the message is absolutely
right.
And I'm not saying because I wrote it, I sang it, but the heart of the song is one that everybody anywhere should be able to relate to.
And it's timely. Things happen for a reason. It's more than a notion. We certainly didn't like what happened with George Floyd, but look how it illuminated the rest of the world to see at one time what we've been saying forever of how we've been mistreated with the double standard and hypocrisy. Finally, the rest of the world saw it, and they didn't like it. So now all this is being revealed, man. I just found out the other day, and forgive my ignorance, man. I thought I was educated. I didn't know that slave owners got reparations back in 1865 when
in DC, in fact.
Yeah.
DC was the first area, because I wrote the theme song for the DC statehood called Taxation Without Representation. Mm-hmm. And DC, when they freed the slaves in DC almost a year before everybody else was free.
That's true.
And slave owners in Washington, DC received money for losing their slaves. They actually gave them money in reparation for the loss of their slave. The slave owners got reparation.
Right, property, because we were property that they lost.
Right. That's right. And the slaves in DC were the first freed people in America.
That's right.
So yes, you are right. And there's so much, and right now on Capitol Hill, the battle is on for statehood for DC.
Right.
And my song for that, the Taxation Without Representation, is really at the forefront, because sometimes you need, even in the Bible, when Joshua took the battle of Jericho, when they walked around the walls the 7 days, they sent the army of the leader in the front of the army leading were the musicians, and they were the ones in the front. And even most all armies always lead them with music, because you need a battle cry. You need something that unites and bonds people together. You need something that gives people a kinship.
Yes.
One that I remember that they used to have when Johnny Comes Marching Home Again. I mean, even back then they used music, and nothing has changed. Music, like the OJs said, music is still the healing force of the world.
That's right. So you should actually perform that song on April 22nd when they go for the vote for statehood to make the 51st state, man.
Well, I'm going to see if I can actually do that. I would love to, because as of yet, I've heard many other people with good statehood songs also. But nobody has anything with the punch that what we had. And a lot of people don't know, not only did I do the R&B version, but we also did a go-go version, rap version. That's mighty powerful too. You gotta hear it. I gotta make sure you get it.
Okay.
But enough of that. Like I said, we're moving down to the last few minutes, and I don't want to keep all of your time. I just want to ask now, with all that you do and everything, you're quite a person in demand, and I know my audience, a lot of us would like to get maybe a copy of your book, as well as if we wanted to find other things that you're involved in. What is the best way to be in touch with you? How can we call on Discombobulated Jones if we need to talk to you, or email you, or follow you on Facebook or whatever? Give us that information if you will.
Yeah, Scott Brown, your producer Scott Brown had taken that information. I don't know if he can put it up on the screen right now. But please email me at therealkokid@gmail. That's the best way to reach me. The Real KO Kid. And of course, KO stands for knockout, because we need to be the ones doing the positive knocking out of life. And that's actually a segue for me to tell you how I came up with the name Discombobulating.
Yeah, please do.
I was always a lover of words, because I know words had meaning, especially words used against you that you didn't know that could hurt you for life, either help you or harm you. So in high school, that's when I first started looking at boxing, and I was looking at a bout, and the color commentator, probably the most renowned one in history, talked like this. He said, "Never mind precedented ring experience have I ever seen a fighter so utterly discombobulated." Of course, the late great Howard Cosell.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I said, "Wow, what was that word?" And I ran to the dictionary. It wasn't there. Dictionary that I had at the time anyway. My sister had just bought me a thesaurus, right? Because I had read the entire dictionary. And went to the thesaurus, and it means to render senseless, to knock out, to completely upset the composure of. I was like, wow, that was a powerful term. I said, when I became a ring announcer, I said to myself, yeah, I need a word that's going to get the sports writers and the fans' attention. So I started calling myself that for two reasons. To get their attention, but also to that point, things I had been through in life that could have discombobulated me, not, but through God's grace did not. So I turned it around and made it empowering, and I'm the one doing the positive knocking out in life. So I call myself Discombobulating Jones, and that's the story.
Turn it into a verb as opposed to just an adjective.
There you go. That's it. You're educated man yourself.
Hey, Howard University will do that to you.
Yeah, the next guy.
And I can't leave my high school out. That's McKinley Tech.
McKinley Tech. But we both proud of the HBCUs, because I graduated from Shaw University in Raleigh, New York.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a rich heritage that I would love to do a great tour around to all the HBCUs, promoting not only my music but with a message also.
Okay, because that's one of the things we're proposing, to raise money for HBCUs through boxing. So I got you, man.
Okay.
We on parallel paths.
And I have you also. Okay. I am the CEO of the Black Music Awareness Foundation, Incorporated, which is a nonprofit, and we are interested in preserving the legacies and heritage of Black entertainers. And through their music and everything, actually securing their music, as well as archiving stories about the legacies that remain sometimes almost untold. So we're doing that, and then finally passing on educating young people about Black history of music, and informing them about the business of music, so that if they get into music, they'll be complete. They don't want to just make music, but you want to do the business correct also.
That is correct. You might be able to be the one to do my score, because we have a documentary that we put together.
That's That's a done. We'll talk about that some more, definitely, because that's one of the things that we do. We have a lot of things that we are bringing out. We have just unleashed Venro Radio, which we have oldies but goodies, but we'll also open it up to bring in shows. And we also have Venro TV coming out.
Okay.
It would be great to have some of the stuff that you've already talked about right there for people to witness 24 hours a day around the world. And that's the way you can discombobulate them, I'm telling you.
And knock out first round. You know, one of the people that's going to be instrumental in this is Bruce Brown.
Well, Bruce is one of my good friends.
Same here. Okay.
One of my good friends, absolutely.
That's
Bruce Brown and Mr. Scott Brown. I got the Brown brothers Brown.
The renowned Brown brothers.
That's right. Well, look, as we wind down, let me ask, is there anything that you'd like to finally share with my audience before we close out this evening?
Thanks for asking that question. And it goes back to you asking me something earlier I probably didn't really expound on, but needs to be said. And that is, behind this pandemic, with the aftermath, people are stressed. It's stressed, man, especially the youth, and they're acting out. As you see, younger and younger now committing crimes, and heinous crimes that they're going to be time for as an adults, even though they're juveniles. I mean,
girls. How about girls? Oh my God, 14-year-old girls.
What I was thinking of,
carjacking, and oh my goodness, yes,
fatality. You can't turn a blind eye to this. Who raised you? Where are the men in your life, the responsible men? So, what I want to do is, even though I'm retired as a DC government social worker, I'm still active in the community, especially for mental health, conflict resolution, anger management. All these things have come to the fore. We see people acting out, irrationally. Well, it's always a reason behind it. So what we have to do is we have to come together now and show them that there's a better way to resolve, these things. You might make yourself feel better for the moment. You might not think you have what you think you deserve, but you got to go about getting it the right way, because God don't bless no mess, man, and it's definitely going to come back to you some way, shape, or form. So we got to show our young people in particular a better way of becoming successful in life, and that's through mental health awareness.
Well, look, again, Discombobulating Jones, my time with you this morning has been thoroughly enlightening. I'm sure my audience has enjoyed all that you have had to say, and I'll put you on notice. We'll be inviting you back another time, possibly to be on a panel and to do some other positive things, because we want to network with people who network, because collectively we are much stronger than we are individually.
That's right.
And there are people that I'm involved with that need your expertise as well as your input. And there may be others that can come alongside of you to help further even your goals and what you're doing as well. So I want that invitation known to you right now. We don't want to wait.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Finally, I'd like to say to my audience, as we are about to close, that the Royal Height of Music podcast, where our goal is taking our music to the world, we are interested in you too. If you like what you've heard this morning from my guest, renowned ring announcer, and man with an expansive mind about things that we can do to make things better, you can join us as a sponsor. You can join us as an affiliate, and even as an advertiser. We got a lot of things going on. Join us at venrorecords.com. You can go to the website, subscribe, and you can take part of Venro Radio. You can see a lot of the activities we're doing. You can see archives of the podcast that will include Discombobulating Jones and all of the others who've had the pleasure of being with us. But most importantly, you'll be able to connect with what we're doing. And in the future, there may be things that you're doing that we can pull up beside you and shore you up and help you out as well. So keep that in mind. VenroRecords.com. That's VENRO, records with an S.com. Join us. And again, stay tuned. We'll be on every Thursday evening. We broadcast at 7 p.m. And we invite you to share with the world what we're doing, because we're taking our music to the world right here on the Royal Height of Music podcast. Again, thank you, Mr. Jones, for your time, and look forward to being with you again.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you want to get it right day and night, always tune into the podcast for Royal Height, because loyalty is royalty. God bless you, my friend.
Thank you very much. God bless, man.